Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how, okay, so this, if you guys are familiar, this is a hat that I have on my channel already, and it's a very popular hat, but I decided I would make an infinity scarf to match. So this tutorial right here is going to show you how to make the infinity scarf. Below in the comment section or in the description box, I will put a link for the tutorial to make the hat that matches. Perhaps you've already made it. You could have, and you can just make the infinity scarf, and then you have a matching set like that. So this is the infinity scarf. Of course, you can make it any length that you want, but it matches the hat. So let me fold it up and we'll go ahead and get started and talk about what yarn I used. Okay, so for this particular hat and scarf set, I used Lion Brand Heartland Thick and Quick. Now, it says that it's a bulky 6. I do not consider it a bulky 6. I say it's a 5-weight yarn. It is a 100% acrylic, and there are 125 yards per ball. The color I used is called Sequoia. Now, I went through 4 balls for my hat and scarf total. Now, you can make this in a 4-weight. You don't have to use a 5-weight yarn. So if you want to use a 4-weight, that's fine. You can just adjust your chain amount to make it as long or as short as you want. I'll give you the measurements of mine. So yeah, 4-weight yarn will be fine. I have this hat made in a 5-weight and a 4-weight both. So if you decide to use a 4-weight opposed to the 5-weight like I did, there'll be a link for the 4-weight hat in the description box, and there'll be a link for the 5-weight hat in the description box. So I have this hat in, like I said, in both weights. They look very similar. There's just a couple minor adjustments to adjust for the weight class. But anyways, my infinity scarf is 29 inches, and that's folded in half. So that's folded in half. Now, thick wise, go ahead and get your measurement on that. It is 7 inches thick. So you can make it longer, you can make it shorter to like just make. I made mine to wrap twice. You've seen the pictures of what it looks like on me, so you can adjust it. And like I said, if you're using a 4-weight yarn, that's fine too. Just I'll tell you the multiple. It's very easy. Make your chain as long as you want, and to match whatever weight hat that you decide to make. So, oh, how could I forget? For this particular weight hat and scarf set, I used a size N, which is a 9mm crochet hook. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Alrighty, so if you're following along with me, I started out with a chain of 140. Remember, if you are using a different weight of yarn, or you want to make it different length, a longer infinity scarf, a shorter infinity scarf, it needs to be done in a multiple of 2. So I started out with 140, and we're going to be slip stitching into our very first stitch to form one large ring. So we're going to follow our chain down all 140 stitches to the very first one and slip stitch, and that will form our ring. Okay, now we're going to start off with the row, and we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go back into that same spot that we just slip stitched into and do a single crochet. Now we are going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch of the chain all the way around until we get back to our starting point. Just like this. 1 single every stitch all the way around, back to the beginning. All right, I have come to the end of round 1. And we are going to end round 1. You should have 140 stitches, still the same chain amount that you started with. I'm going to end by slip stitching into my first single crochet, not the chain one we did. It doesn't count as anything. So we're going to work in that first single crochet, and we are going to slip stitch, and that'll end round 1. Just like that. All right, now we're going to begin round 2. Round 2, we will start with a chain 1. Now that chain 1 doesn't count as anything, but we're going to work right back into that same spot right there that we just slip stitched into, and we're going to work a double crochet now. So round 2, what we're going to do is we're going to work 1 double crochet in every single stitch all the way around until we get back to our starting point. So pretty easy so far. 1 double in every stitch, just like this, and I will meet back up with you right back here. Alrighty, I have made it to the end of round 2, and I have 140 stitches still. So 140 is our magic number. We're going to have that on every single row. And if you started with a different chain count, whatever your chain count was, is going to be your magic number. You'll have that on every single row. So 140 is what you should have, and we're going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into our first double crochet that we made. Like that. Okay, we're going to start again for round 3. We're going to chain 1. We're going to do a double crochet right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. Now our next stitch is going to be a front post double crochet. So if you've never done one before, it's just like a regular double crochet, but instead of doing it into the top of the stitch like normal, we're going to work it around the post of the stitch. So we yarn over and we go around the post of the next stitch like this. And then we just work a double crochet like normal. And now we're going to do a regular double crochet into the top of the next stitch. And then we will work a front post double crochet around the post of the next stitch. So yarn over and go around the post of the next stitch and double crochet like normal. Well, don't tangle it up like I did, but there we go. And again, we'll do a regular double crochet into the top of the next stitch and a front post double around the post of the next. So we are going to repeat this pattern of a regular double crochet into the top of the next and a front post double crochet around the post of the next, all the way around until we get back to the beginning. So regular double crochet and a front post double crochet, and we just keep repeating those, and this is what it starts to look like. It brings kind of some texture to your work, and of course once we get more posts on, you'll be able to see them a little bit better. But I'm going to go ahead and continue this all the way around. Regular double crochet and a front post double crochet all the way around my big ring until I get back to my starting point. Alrighty, I made it to the end of row 3, and I still have my 140 stitches. Now your last stitch on row 3 should have been a front post double crochet, and let's go ahead and end it by slip stitching into our first double crochet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start row 4, and row 4 is just a repeat of row 3. So what we're going to do is chain 1, just like we did before, and we're going to start off by double crocheting right there into that spot that we just slip stitched into. And we will work a front post double crochet around the post of the next stitch, and you'll be able to see that there is a post there from the previous row. So we just go right around it and front post double crochet and regular double crochet into the next, and then front post double into the next. So we're doing the same thing we did on row 4 that we did on row 3. We're just repeating it. And now you'll be able to see the post stitches will be a little bit more visible because they're a little bit longer. Maybe my yarn's not the great choice for showing off the post stitches, but anyways, you can still see them. So I'm going to continue this row 4, repeating row 3 for row 4 until I get back to my starting point. All right, I have made it to the end of round 4. Again, you should have ended in a front post double crochet there, and it's okay if your stitches are curling. Post stitches do that. We'll straighten that out, don't worry about that. So we'll go ahead and end by slip stitching into our first double crochet. 140 stitches is what we should still have. Now we're going to start round 5, and we are going to work a chain of 1. Doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to work right back into that same spot that we just slip stitched into and single crochet like that. So round 5 is going to be 1 single crochet into the top of every stitch all the way around, just like this. So we're not doing any post stitches or anything like that. We're just working 1 single in every stitch until we get back to our starting point. There we go, just like that. All right, I've made it to the end of round 5, 140 stitches still. Now we're going to slip stitch here at the end, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. So we are going to end with the slip stitch in the back loop of the first single crochet. So you can see if I put the single crochet on my hook, the loop, there's 2 loops. The loop closest to me is the front loop, and the loop furthest away is the back loop. We want to slip stitch only through that back loop, so only going through 1 loop and slip stitch, and that'll end around 5. So round 6, what we're going to do is chain 1, and we're going to put 1 single crochet through the back loop only of that very first stitch that we just slip stitched into. And then we're going to work along putting 1 single crochet in the back loop only of every single stitch all the way around. So it's just a row of single crochets, but we're working only through 1 loop, the back loop, the one furthest away from us. And by doing so, that adds a ridge, and you can see it there. Just decoration, I guess. So I'm going to repeat this pattern of 1 single crochet through the back loop only for round 6 until I get back around to my starting point. Alright, I have made it to the end of round 6, and I still have my 140 stitches. So round 7 and 8 are going to be a repeat of what we just did on round 6. So we're going to end by slip stitching into our first single crochet, but through the back loop only. So and that will end round 6, and then we begin round 7 the exact same way. Chain 1, single crochet through the back loop only, and 1 single crochet in every stitch around, back loop only. Now we will repeat this all the way around until we get to the end of round 7. You'll still have your 140 stitches, and then you will repeat it 1 more time and finish out doing the same thing for round 8. And then once you'll still have 140 stitches, and once you make it to the end of round 8, that's where I'll meet back up with you, and I'll show you how to finish round 8 off, and then we'll start round 9. So I'm working round 7 and 8, which are repeats of round 6. So I'll see you here in a couple rows. Alright, so I finished out round 8 and we still have 140 stitches. Now how we're going to end round 8 is, instead of slip stitching into the back loop of the first single crochet, we are just going to slip stitch through both loops. So we're not going to be working in the back loops anymore. So slip stitch through both loops like that. So there's that. No more working in the back loops. That was the last time that we did that. So now we're going to start round 9, and we are going to chain 1, and we're going to go back into that same spot there, and we're going to do a double crochet, going through both loops now from now on. And we are going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around until we get back to our starting point. So we're on round 9 now, which is just 1 double in every stitch all the way back to the beginning. All right, I've come to the end of round 9. So I have 140 double crochets, and I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into my first double crochet. Now rounds 10 and 11 are going to be done the exact same way. So we're going to start off by chaining 1 and putting a double crochet right there back in that same spot that we just slip stitched into. And then we're going to do our front post double crochet around the next stitch, and a regular double crochet into the top of the next stitch. We're going to do that repeat again like we did down here at the beginning. So front post double crochet into the next, and a regular double crochet into the top of the next. Front post double, regular double. And this is round 10 that we're on. And once I get done with round 10, I'll have 140 stitches still. And then what I'll do is I will repeat it one more time for round 11. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out rounds 10 and 11 doing the front post double crochet and then regular double crochet repeat all the way around, and I'm going to have 140 stitches at the end of each round. I will meet back up with you after I finish out round 11. Remember, we're on round 10 now, and when I'm finished with round 10, we'll repeat it and do the same thing for round 11, and I'll meet back up with you then. Okay, so I have finished out all the way through round 11 there. So what I'm going to do is end by slip stitching into my first double crochet. I'm going to do one more round here, finishing edge on this top round. So round 12, we are going to chain 1, go back into that same stitch and single crochet. So I'm going to work 1 single crochet into the top of every stitch all the way around. Until I get back to my starting point. Oh. When I make it back around, I'll still have my 140 stitches. Alright, I have made it to the end of round 12, so what I'm going to do is end with a slip stitch into my first single crochet. 140 stitches still. Now I'm going to go ahead and tie this off, and we can hide that tail. I'll do that in a minute. But what we're going to do is flip it around, and we're going to go around the other edge with single crochet. So I like to kind of just start my yarn where I started my chain in the beginning. I only do that so I can hide that tail there as I crochet. So just, you could start in any one of these stitches here. And I'm just going to go into one of them. Pull up my yarn, chain 1, and go back in and single crochet, and I'm just going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch across or around the scarf here. Remember, this was our very first row that we did, so I'm just cleaning up the edge on it by putting a row of single crochet. And this will be the last thing that we do. So we'll go around, put 1 single crochet in every stitch, and then in with the slip stitch in your first single crochet, tie off, and then we'll hide any remaining tails, and we'll take a look at it. Alright, it's all finished. Here's the infinity scarf. And remember, I will link the videos to the matching hat in the description box or in the comment section. I have it for the 5-weight here, or if you decide to use a 4-weight yarn, I have the matching hat for the 4-weight, which that link will be down there below also. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I hope you were able to follow along, okay? Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my other tutorials or yarn stuff I talk about or whatever I put on my channel. My channel's pretty cool. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thanks everybody for watching. Have a good day and stay safe.